This video will be about how to fix your manuscript if it is not behaving properly once you upload it to the KDP platform. If it's skipping pages or the margins are off here and there, big spaces between paragraphs, whatever is happening, I will show you how to fix it. I'll explain to you why this is happening, and then you will understand how important making a few changes in how you do things going forward will be. First of all, why is this happening? When you upload an ebook, you are really uploading a series of paragraphs with chapter headings. Ebooks are then reformatted behind the scenes into an easy flow EPUB format. What that means is that Amazon KDP delivers the books to customers in a computer code used by EPUB readers. The easy flow is meant to work on any size e-reader, tablet, Kindle device, or any smartphone. On top of that, inside the Kindle app, readers can change settings to enlarge or shrink the font or change the font altogether. They can even change the color of the background. So it is important to imagine that your book is not really being delivered in a fixed document format. Picture a big iced tea pitcher pouring one paragraph after another onto someone's e-reader. This is a more accurate view of how your book is really being delivered. When it arrives, there is a default font, but it can be changed by anyone at any time. So what does all of this have to do with you or with us? It is a visual to explain why it is so important to style every single line in your book manuscript using the Styles Gallery only. This is a picture of what the Open Styles Gallery looks like in Microsoft Word. I'm going live in a few minutes and will show you how to set up the styles so that you can get rid of all of the problems you are having with your upload. You can publish any book with only 10 to 12 styles. They can be set up in less than 10 minutes. It's easy enough to do. Your ebook looks like this when it is uploaded from your computer. However, after you upload it as a DOC or DOCX file, it is converted behind the scenes into a KDP EPUB document. This is a GIF of what an EPUB file looks like. Every time you change a line of text without using the Styles Gallery, you create an opportunity for the converter to screw something up, in plain English. Next, I will go live and show you how to fix the document so that you won't have these conversion problems anymore. Okay, so here I am in a Word document. This is a dummy document that I have set up with all kinds of problems in it so that I could show you what you need to do in order to clean up and fix a manuscript that is acting up in some way on the KDP platform. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do, and we've already talked about this earlier in the video, is that we're going to take out all of the crazy codes like these spaces here. First and foremost, you want to toggle this on and off. So you want to put it on so it shows all of your spaces. All of these spaces here that you don't really need, this is part of what is causing problems on the KDP website. So I'm going to show you how to clean up the document and work around this. The first thing you want to do before you do any final formatting for KDP is to make sure that you have all of the pages that you are going to need in order to upload to KDP. All right, I have a list right here for beginners. You don't need all of the pages, like you might not need a page with your other books if you only have the one book, but most of these pages you will want to have, especially if you're going to be doing some of your own marketing. Adding another page to an ebook is not that big of a deal, but it's good to get into this habit because adding a page when you have already completed formatting in a paperback or a hard cover can create havoc. You might have to redo it all because you're dealing with sections in that type of formatting. So just get into the habit of making sure all of your pages are in the document before you start your final. So the first thing you're going to do in cleaning up your document is, after turning on your show hide button, the next thing we're going to do is to set up the margins. So come up here to the layout section, click on margins and choose custom margins. And I have the margins written out here in this document that I'm showing on the screen. So you can pause the video and just copy down the settings so that you have them. I'll go over them quickly. The top and the bottom are 0.5 inches because you're not going to have a title in an ebook and you're not going to have page numbers in an ebook. The left and the right I have set up as 1.5 inches, okay? And then the gutter is 0 because there is no gutter in an ebook, and it defaults to the left, so I just leave that. It's set up as portrait. You want the pages to be normal, which means one comes after the other. And instead of this section, you want to change this to whole document. The next tab is paper. So I have chosen letter 8.5 and 11 inches because that's what most Word systems default to. It's just for, copy paper and to print something from a printer. So I work with those. Okay, make sure it's on the default tray. And then down here, make sure you're applying it to the whole document. And then in the next tab on layout, you want a section start to be a new page. Uncheck different odd and even and different first page because it's irrelevant in an ebook. The header and footer put as 0.5 inches because, again, there's no title and no page numbers. Vertical alignment is top. And you also want to apply this to the entire document. So then click OK. So now your margins are fixed. So the next thing we are going to do after that is to work with the styles gallery. Now on the screen here, I have a list of the styles that I use in all of the books. You can do a whole book with 8 to 12 styles, depending upon the style of book that you are doing. Now, off camera, I have set up all of these bottom styles because I didn't want to take the time to bore you. The only style that I haven't done is heading 1. And what I have done in my chapter headers is what newbies always do. And that is I just went over here and, highlighted this and then chose Times New Roman 16 bold and centered. Okay, so in other words, I put a line style on it. And what that means is that each chapter header is styled individually. Even though I'm using the same style, the conversion is going to see that as 30 different codes as opposed to one code for a heading. So let's go up to the style gallery. First of all, let me surround this here, highlight it. And I'm going to come up here and choose heading 1, right click and choose modify. And let's see. I don't want to base this on any style, so I just choose no style. And then the following style is going to be normal. Okay. And then I'm going to, let's change this to Tahoma, and we'll choose 14, bold, and then centered here. Now, I'm going to come in here because instead of using your enter key to create spaces before and after the chapter header, we're going to add it into the style. So by clicking format and choosing paragraph, I'm going to come down here and I'm going to choose single space. And then you decide how much space you're going to add before the chapter. Let's say you want it to come down a third of, 25% of the page. Then you would add, say, you would make this 32. Okay. And then you'll see it in the box. It'll show you how much space you're dealing with. And let's say you want there to be an equal amount of space between the chapter and the beginning of your text. So I'm going to leave it in this way and then choose OK and OK. All right. Now I'm going to choose, sometimes it'll change it while you're doing it, and sometimes you'll have to add it later. There is one or two little temperamental things about Microsoft Word. You have to keep an eye on it sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to choose heading 1, and there is the new heading. So then what you're going to do is you're going to come down here and take out all of these crazy spaces because the spacing is now inside the style. All right, and then what you're going to do the big cleanup is you're going to surround your entire chapter. And off camera, I have changed my normal style to be what I want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to click on normal, and that's going to clean up everything. Now, I like to leave the first paragraph at the start of a chapter unindented. So I have another style that is normal no indent. So I'm going to surround this one here and click normal no indent, and that takes the indent away. All right. So now we fixed chapter 1. Well, not really, because at the end of chapter 1, I have this little indication here at the end of a chapter. Now, this is actually my scene ending. I never use chapter endings because sometimes they break on a page. So just pretend that this is a scene ending. So I don't, just center this and bold it. I have an actual style that I call scene ending, so that all of the scene endings are taking their style from that one code. Okay. And then after this, I'm going to take out more of these crazy spaces. Now, here's an example where one extra space can create a problem with a page break. So what you want to do is you want to place your cursor right after the last symbol and delete even this enter. Delete it. And then it brings the page break right up next to that last character. And that's what you want to do. So you're going to have to go through your book one chapter at a time and do these changes. Okay. So once you have all of your headings, all of your, styles set up, it becomes easier because on this one here, I just have to go in and click on heading 1. Okay. Then I take out my crazy spacing. All right. This I have already fixed. Okay. And but let's pretend I'm doing it from scratch. You surround your whole chapter and then come up here and click on normal, and then come up and click on your first paragraph and choose normal, no indent. Okay. And then you come down and all of these extra spaces, you want to get rid of them. The same thing here. I'm going to bring that page break all the way up to right after my scene ending, you see, and the same thing. Okay, now here's chapter 3, and I have one other style that I'm going to talk to you about. All right, so let's do heading 1. Okay. Now, every now and again, I have a chapter where I use meanwhile, or I use Chicago. They're in Chicago now, or they're in St. Thomas now, okay, to give the reader a heads up. So but I don't just use the styles over here. Even though it only comes up once or twice in the book, I still have a style. So I go in here and I have a right side title style. Okay, and that has the style in it. And if you want to add a little bit more space after it, whatever you want to do, you put it inside the style. Okay, so again, you're going to surround all of your chapters and you're going to go through and make sure all of these returns, these crazy returns, which is pretty normal. This is the way people are really taught how to use Microsoft Word. And make sure that you to bring it up so that there's no extra spaces. Now, this is one of the reasons why I don't use these scene endings at the end of a chapter, because every now and again this happens where it wants to put this scene ending symbols on its own page, and that creates a problem. So I only use the scene endings between scenes. So just so you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that, and then it has pulled up. You can't see it because you can't see the writing, but these double lines here, that is the page break. Okay. And again, sometimes in order to create space on the page, people will just click the enter. So what you want to do is you want to remove all of them. Okay. And so you're going to go through the whole book doing this, removing all of the crazy spaces and making sure that you have all of your pages. Now, I'm not going to go into any detail about these other pages. Just to let you know that it's a good idea to get in the habit of making sure before you even go through the effort of cleaning up the document that you have everything you need inside the document. So that should really eliminate all of the problems that you're having between saving your document on your computer and uploading it to Kindle Direct. If you have any other problems that come up for you, I welcome you to post them in the comments below, and if I can help you resolve it, I certainly will. Now, if anybody is still with me at the end of the video, thank you for watching until the end. If you learned anything, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.